Hello, welcome beautiful vibrant souls to today's pick a card reading. So the inspiration for this one I thought was really cool. This is really going to be looking at what does your person, right, your soul partner, like what is the guidance, the information, the spiritual information they're getting about your partnership, about the connection that you have. This could be somebody that you are in separation with. This could be somebody that you're with actively. This could be somebody you have reunited with. You're approaching reconciliation, things like that. So it can really apply to any stage of union. My intention for this, I'm really picking up, this is like soul partnership, right? And this doesn't have to be indicated by the amount of time you've been together, the amount of history. You know, as cheesy as it is, you'll really be able to feel it. You'll be able to know it based on how you feel about this person. For a lot of you, there's this sense of them getting more and more spiritual guidance. I'm picking up a lot in the astral. So especially if you've been dreaming about this person a lot, or you've just been dreaming like a lot more recently, and you feel like your dreams have been very psychically active or productive. So this would be that feeling where maybe you got a full night's sleep, but you wake up and you feel like you've been out all night, right? You feel exhausted. You feel like you've lived a whole other life. That can sometimes be those, like, oof, let me try this again. Sometimes those can be indications you've been doing a lot of work in the astral. Your person has been getting guidance, right? Your person's been getting insight, and this is all kind of starting to coalesce in their waking life. This could be where it's like that sense of, I don't know what it is, but I feel like this is, you know, this connection is special. I don't know what it is, but I feel like we're supposed to move to this place. We feel like we're supposed to kind of open this type of business together. Sorry about my crackling bones. I don't have a good excuse. I'm just old. So this reading is really intended to look at what is the guidance, the advice, the kind of spiritual push that your person is getting about you and about this connection at this time. So, we have 3 options to choose from today that were shown in the thumbnail, but I'll show you again. So option 1 is this beautiful fuchsia agate. Look at her. She's a pretty girl. Option 2 is this lovely plum blossom tourmaline. See that? So pretty. All of them are such pretty babies. And then option 3 with the hemamorphite. Look at that gorgeous color, you guys. I can't get over it. Oh my god. So you can pause the video if need be to meditate, contemplate on the stacks in front of you, see which one best resonates with your energy, the energy of your connection. When you have picked one, please head down to the timestamps in the description box, and that will bring you to your selected option. And with that, I'm going to start with group 1. Just stuck. Okay. Hi group 1. I forgot to mention this in the beginning, but I do have a fan going in my window because it's a little bit warm and humid today, so sorry if you can hear that. Otherwise I would be perspiring to the level of expiring. We don't want that, so thanks for standing by. I'm getting this energy of you guys, like your energy feels like you're in this place where, like, I feel like fun, a little bit sassy. It's just not even sassy. It's kind of Queen of Wands vibe I'm picking up. You guys could be fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But there's this sense where I feel like you guys have been working on coming into your confidence, into your power. This is a group where I'm kind of getting you guys have been working on separate things. So even if you're still together, maybe you guys have just kind of not been fully on the same page. Maybe you guys have been really busy with, like, one person's been busy with work, another person's had, like, personal goals and responsibilities. There is a separation kind of energy here where you guys are just, like, in different energies. And I'm picking up that for you guys, what you've been working on is really stepping into your confidence. Magenta is very much a color associated with the crown chakra, but also with universal love, universal connection. So for you guys, I'm almost getting this energy. What you've been working on is your sense of confidence in your self-love and your ability to connect to universal energies in your own very unique, special way, and like the honoring of how you do that, the honoring of your energy, if that makes sense. I'm also feeling like this feeling of honoring your soul's vibration. Some of you might be a very unique frequency, and you've had a really hard time either fitting in or really even just knowing who you truly are, or both. Some of you might identify as like clairsentients, empaths, starseeds. You might be very different. And I'm getting this almost like absorbing and reflecting kind of energy where you might absorb other people's energy and then mirror that back to them really heavily. And it is something about, it could have to do with the circumstances of this life journey, like hyper-attunement, for example, coming from a certain type of attachment style. But some of it is just your soul's frequency. Like your soul is just, you're built that way. This is why I'm getting almost like a starseed kind of vibe, is like you guys are just built that way. So finding who you truly are, how you truly resonate, and being able to accept and integrate all parts of self has been a part of your journey. And I know I'm focusing on you guys right now, but I'm feeling it very heavily. Has been really like a thing here, and finding confidence in that, and finding confidence in the quirks and the pieces of you that you might have been ashamed of before, and knowing that that's actually part of your strength, that's actually part of your power. I feel this is the journey that you guys have been on. So in terms of what your person's being guided to, sorry, my ear needs to pop, it's driving me nuts. What your person's being guided to in terms of this connection, we have the golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. Your person's also being pointed to their rare gifts. See how we have the sun right here with this portal energy? You guys are being guided to your solar selves, your soul selves, right? And this is not only who you are at the soul, and how you, I'm hearing like you spiritually, you best function, but this is also your sense of personal power and your confidence, and that you guys are both being guided to that. This is why I feel like it's, you know, you guys are doing your own thing in your own way, but it's like a journey in tandem, if that makes sense. Like I'm getting this energy of like that kind of a thing. Do you like that? Do you like what I just did? That was a weird thing to do, but this is because you see how many little kiddos are over here? They're all getting activated. This is because you and Soul Tribe members are all getting activated to head to the same place. Some of you might be drawn to relocation. But the biggest things is with rare gifts, you and your person are both at this time being very much pushed to, and I feel like you're both on the journey of discovering and embracing your rare gifts and qualities is really the thing that I'm hearing. Love. Your person's being guided to not only, I feel like the blockage here has been that your person with all the blue, in this deck, as you can see, there are cards where the Merkaba is the same color as the background. There are also ones where it's different. When they're the same, this to me means that your internal frequency is in resonance with your external reality, meaning, you know, your internal world is in harmony and is being reflected back to you through your external reality. This was the issue before. With the number 6, this could have been around equal give and take, reciprocity. Your person, I feel like, was struggling to love you before, because it was a reflection of how they were struggling to love themselves. And I'm almost getting this energy where there feels like there's a little bit of a, like there was an imbalance. There's a giver and there's a taker. I feel like you guys may have been the giver before because you struggle to recognize these really like rare, beautiful qualities and to accept yourself. So there's almost this energy here, like it was a subconscious thing of like, there's something wrong with me. I'm the weird one. I'm the odd one out. So I'm going to give and give and give to compensate for that, right? That was the wound I feel like you guys have been working to overcome. And you guys have learned instead to really find your true sense of self and love that true sense of self and realize that the very things you thought were hindrances are actually some of your greater strengths. And your person's been on a very similar journey, yet different. Your person's been on this journey, I feel like, to truly embrace the love that they have for you, because they were very much struggling to love themselves. I feel like they were constantly running away from themselves. That's a very big message I'm getting. Constantly running away from themselves. So they could not love you because they could not love themselves. There's a reflective quality here, very, very heavily. So what their guides have been guiding them to is, and this is for both of you, there's self-love, and this is what's helping you guys balance out and find the love for each other. I feel like this person just woke up. This person has kind of just woken up to how much they actually truly love you. I'm also getting with the golden children. This makes me think of the golden child as in like in a narcissistic family system. You and or your person may have had narcissistic parents. And this is where some of this dynamic had come from before. There was inequity. There was a lack of give and take, like equal give and take. And some of this may have come from those experiences. And so it took a really long time for possibly for you to see your own true value and worth and really embrace that and know that. And it took a long time for your person to trust you. It took a long time for your person to see their true value and worth. It was 10:01 as I said that, which indicates the cycle is ending, a new one's beginning, and there is mirroring here. Let's see what else we get here though. In Pisces. Okay, so this could be, you could be a Pisces, your person could be a Pisces. So I'm really drawn into trusting your psychic knowledge of, but I was almost equally drawn into resulting from the indecision of or about, right? So this is what I mean. I feel like it was hard to really see this thing clearly. Pisces rules the 12th house. This is the house of illusions. This is also the house of like obsessive, addictive cycles. This is just not super duper healthy in some ways, but it's also very much about that high vibrational, unconditional spiritual love. Placements in your 12th house can also indicate the ways in which you are being prompted to serve spirit, right? But prompted to serve spirit, not at the expense of yourself and your personal power. Your person, I feel like, is being called to serve spirit. So this is the timeless reading. By the time I'm filming this, we had Saturn move into Pisces in March, right? For me, one of the things that this transit talks about is this, sorry, there's a squeaky car outside. One of the things this transit talks about is there's a calling for people to get more in touch with their spiritual path, right? To be really starting to take steps toward their spiritual service. Sorry, I'm just adjusting the skirt part of my dress because it was uncomfortable. But like really addressing that calling. A lot of people are feeling called to do that. A lot of people are feeling called to get in touch with their psychic senses, to get in touch with their spiritual gifts and how they want to honor those gifts by offering them to the collective, right? A lot of people are also any residual kind of cycles when it comes to being able to have healthy give and take, because the 12th house, while it does deal with service, it talks about the need to have service in a healthy way and balancing out your belief in a higher power with your personal power, right? So if you're always giving, if you're always deferring to spirit for everything, then you are lacking your personal power. If you're never seeking higher guidance, you're lacking that higher power. They need to co-create, meaning they need to be equal. They need to work together. You guys may have been working on some of these themes, right? Your person may have been working on trusting their psychic senses. They may have finally given themselves over to their intuition, given themselves over to spirit and say, okay, that's why this information is coming through now, because they're actually listening to it, right? And there's this sense that, resulting from the indecision about, right? There may have been one or both of you could have been indecisive. I feel like this is almost mirrored. Like you guys couldn't fully make up your minds about each other. And I feel like this is also a reflection of struggling to fully decide about yourselves, right? Decide to say like, again, we talked about obsessive or addictive cycles. One or both of you, excuse me, could have had some addictions or codependencies. An addiction can be, capital A addiction, or it could be, an addiction to shopping, to social media. It's just any escapism, right? We use escapism when we're not comfortable with the life we're living, when we don't feel satiated and safe and grounded in the life we're living. So anything that was just not serving you, you guys may have served to kind of try to escape that instead of deal with the problem head on, right? And it's like there's a lot to unpack here, but I think this is what this is predicated on with all the blue here, is finding your authentic truth about like within yourself, and then finding the authentic truth between the two of you. I feel like you were finding your authentic truth within yourself, finding your self-love, finding the truth of your self-love, the depths to which that will go. I'm being drawn to my little bluebird here. This is always a symbol of happiness for me. Finding what it is that really makes you happy, what you really want, and being willing to advocate for that and really, take action toward that. And your person, I feel like your person's really been surrendering more to their higher self, to their spiritual self. And as a result, they're now being able to get this guidance about, oh my God, I know what this is. Oh my God. And I'm really like hesitant to say stuff like that. I never want to, as it's very popular to say, feed people's delusions. Don't feed your delusions after midnight. But this is what I'm seeing here, honestly. And, as always, please do with this as you see fit. I always advocate for people to choose themselves, choose their peace, choose their health. But this is kind of what your combined spirit guides are working with to help your person recognize and realize. So I pulled some messages cards, and these were, the intention for these were kind of like messages from your person, especially from their higher self. We have, my life will always be divided up into two big parts, before I met you and after. Yeah, this is like a judgment card kind of energy for me. This is a turning point, right? I think A.S. Byatt kind of said it best in Possession, that this is the midpoint to which everything runs and from which everything will run. You serve as a midpoint in this person's life, right? And they're recognizing how big and important this is. It's like, I can't run away from it. Yep. I feel so lost without you. I don't know if that feeling ever goes away. This is what I mean. I think you guys are in separation, or there's just like, you guys are really kind of on different pages. We have a lot more blue showing up again. What your person's being counseled to realize is, it feels like, look how we have the gradient. I don't know why. It feels like it took time for this to set in. Maybe your person's used to just moving on really quickly and they can't here. They're realizing, like, you know, because I have another card in this deck that's like, you know, I don't know how to be myself without you, but I know I need space to figure it out, right? That's kind of like a similar feeling of like, I feel lost without you, but I know I need to learn this. Your person's been sitting with this for a long time, and what they're kind of coming to realize, what they're really coming to realize is how, if I could pick up the freaking card, how honestly they love you. And they may never have loved anyone, truly loved anyone like that. And if they have, it has been very unhealthy. And I feel like that's not the case here. What your person's coming to realize is that that feeling doesn't go away. Loving you doesn't just go away. So them running away from it does nothing. I want to pull some cards about this. Queen of Swords. Yeah, you may have really told this person what for. We have a fox pictured here that might be important. But air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, that may apply. Page of Wands. Okay, and on the train on this card, we have the numbers 891 and 099. So those might be important. 891 might be important, so you could be born August 91. 8, 9, or 1 might be significant numbers. Repeating 9s, 8s, or 1s might be really significant. Yeah, okay, so we have the High Priestess, Pisces energy, and then I pulled the Knight of Swords. There's a lot of people showing up, and it's interesting. We have Page, a Knight, and a Queen, right? There is evolution here. I feel like this is what's been going on. This kind of feels like the journey of this relationship. It started off very exciting. It started off, it started off like, this is my little adventure card. Like, it's an adventure, right? It's a story waiting to be told. I feel like things got really real for your person, and they ran away. Your person may have had some harsh words. They're sitting in there thinking about that a lot right now. With the fox energy here, they're sitting, and we have wheat on this card, which always depicts abundance. They're thinking about how they thought they could just run away from this. They thought they could just leave this behind, and how they just cheated themselves out of abundance. And there's kind of this like, it's not quite like, oh my God, regret, what did I do? But it's kind of like, oh, that's why I did that, and I think I just f***ed it up. Is kind of the energy I'm picking up here. You see we have the smoke here coming out the train. It always looks like a book to me, like an open book. And she's got the book here. This kind of has that midpoint again. They're looking at their story differently. I think it was very ephemeral before. They were kind of like not really paying attention to this, kind of just like following the intuition of the moment, but they didn't really have a plan. I think you recognize what this was before they did. And they're now seeing, I feel like they're seeing you like this, in the sense that they see you as this like kind of high priestess, somebody who knows everything, somebody who knew what this was the whole time. And they kind of look back at themselves and see themselves as like bumbling or blundering through the entire process. And there's kind of this recognition of like, they're looking back, hang on, sorry, I'm trying to channel for you. They're looking back at this whole connection and everything that happened, everything they did, everything you did, and they're seeing you as somebody who knew the entire time. You knew what was going on spiritually. You knew whatever kind of BS they were trying to pull. You knew. And it changes the context of your actions for them. So if you showed them grace and compassion, they see that differently now. If you tried to guide the relationship in a certain direction, they see that differently now. If you told them, you know, you told them things, you shared, especially like any kind of semblance of truth at a spiritual level or otherwise, they see that differently now. They may have thought you were kind of just being bossy. They may have thought you were just kind of talking just to talk. Again, they were the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is tricky because he's smart. Don't get me wrong. He's savvy for sure. He's clever. But the Knight of Swords' downfall is his arrogance. He thinks he knows everything. And he doesn't, because he has yet to temper his wisdom with the wisdom of experience. He thinks that knowing the most or having the most information is the same thing as knowing what to do, the wisdom to use it properly and wield it properly. And it's not the same. I think also too, this person, if you put up boundaries, this person looks at those differently now. Because again, this person has different context for the story that's played out between the two of you. So they may have thought you were being overly dramatic. They may have thought you were being cold. They may have thought you were being unfair. And now they're looking back at the story of the relationship and they're seeing it very different. I feel like this is very heavy energy this person's sitting in. 5 of Cups reversed. Okay. And the 4 of Cups reversed. The 3 of Wands reversed. I feel like, I don't know if this person really has a right to be, but I feel like this person feels like it's not over. This person feels like, for them, what they're kind of seeing in their mind is, I get it now, right? They were probably with the 4 of Cups, just not participating in the relationship. And they may have caused a lot of grief, right? This may have been why they were not participating, because they themselves were in grief over a loss of their past, very likely. But there's this sense here that I'm picking up where it's like, you know, I'm looking at resulting from the indecision about. It's like, oh, that's why this didn't work, because I wasn't opening up. I wasn't taking the action. I hadn't decided, especially like in their energy, I hadn't decided to put my whole focus here. This person is, again, I'm not saying that you have to take them back or anything, but it feels like in their mind, it's kind of this energy of, oh, I see why this didn't work now. All I have to do is try where I was not trying before. I want to see what's your energy toward this person, because I feel like they're not really thinking about the fact that you may just shut them down. 9 of Swords reversed at the bottom. I feel like this person makes you nervous, but let's see. The Hanged Man. I think you're kind of in this place of, I don't know about you. More Pisces. The Knight of Pentacles reversed because this person's you've invested a lot in this person before and they have let you down. And the 8 of Pentacles. You've worked really hard here. Part of why I feel like you're like, I don't know. I love you. I'm going to call you out a little bit because you might still want to try. That's why this reading was brought to you. You feel like it's not over. There's so much intuitive energy here. And like, look, this was you, right? I feel like you're not afraid to cut people off and walk away if you gotta. But only if it's what you know you need to do. And there's something about this where it feels like it's not done. And that's why you're not sure. So I think you're having this sort of shift in perspective, or you're pausing pretty significantly because you have worked very, very, very hard on yourself in the time that you've been apart from this person, or you have invested a lot into this person and it didn't pan out. But it's hard to fight that feeling, right? There's the 9 of Swords. That's why there's anxiety about, I don't want to trust you again. I don't think that's like, logically, that's not a good idea, but logic isn't the only thing that rules our lives, right? Like, 5 of Swords, and so there's the mental conflict within the self. There's I think a hawk on this card, but to me it always looks like a phoenix, and it kind of feels like this energy of, I don't know, are you going to really fight the transformation anymore? So, you know, kind of summarizing what the spirit guides are helping your person with right now. They're helping them come to terms with this self-love, but what was really going on in this connection, and they see it very, very differently. They also see you with rare gifts as a very gifted person, as somebody who, I feel like they're noticing your better qualities now. They're seeing you as compassionate, as patient, as wise, and I don't think they were connecting as heavily to that. I'm really drawn into on the Pisces card, your idealization of, but it's at the bottom. It's reversed the way I'm looking at it. So it's like right here. So it's upside down. And I think it's this sense where I'm almost getting this energy of like, they put you up on the pedestal in the beginning, and then they were like fighting themselves on it, so they may have like tried to kind of like then be dismissive. There is like some unhealed stuff that really had to get taken care of. But you know, in terms of, to answer the question, this is what your person's spirit guides are counseling them on when it comes to this connection, is actually seeing the truth of what went on here. And I feel like they are going to want to, honestly, they're probably going to want to try again. But even with that, they want to try to give you the due respect that they did not give you before. Cut the deck, and we have the Six of Swords. They want to heal this. And the Seven of Wands, they know that you're going to be defensive, and they understand why. The Nine of Pentacles, they also know that you have a greater sense of self-worth. You are showing up more effectively for yourself now than you were prior, and they know they can't come in with the same weak-ass bullshit, if I'm being honest. So they're really, I'm hearing, biding their time. Ten of Cups reversed, because they know what they put you through, and they know that if they ever want to get another shot to, you know, make things right, they have to be ready to back that shit up. So this is what I'm seeing for you guys for right now. I hope this has been helpful. This was a really intense one. If you're looking for this reading for yourself, please feel free to go check out my shop. I don't have this like currently listed as a stand-in, like, you know, a standing reading in my shop, but you can always DM me for a custom. Be like, I saw this reading on YouTube, I want this one for myself, and I'd be happy to do that. So thank you so much for being here. Wishing you the best, brightest, most beautiful things that life has to offer. Take care. Hi, group 2. Okay, I feel like a lighter energy. I feel it really up here in my eyes. So there might be something where, this is kind of a collective theme, but there's like some fresh perspective. I don't know if this is necessarily just about you. Your person may have been very focused on something else in their life. Like, I'm doing this. Like, focused on something else in their life. Like, let's say their career was taking up a lot of their time. They had family issues. I feel like there's some levity that's either come in or it's coming in, and this is going to allow their focus to kind of shift towards something else. It feels like a breath of fresh air. Excuse my burp. So with the Plum Blossom Tourmaline, I'm also getting there's going to be a lot more soothing of the emotions. I feel like you might be in union with this person, or you might at least be on really, really good terms with this person. That's not going to be for everybody, but the energy here feels pretty good between the two of you. Whereas like group 1, I was definitely getting like a separation kind of energy. This one feels more like you're in some level of connection. So let's see what your person's spirit guides are counseling them on at this time when it comes to this connection. Wow, weight of the world. Boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. What were we just talking about? Dude, love when this shit happens. Exactly that. So part of this sort of like, and I even like how there's similar colors going on. I know it doesn't look like it because of the lighting, but they are. Part of this might kind of really come from your person may have just been carrying things that weren't theirs to carry. And part of what their spirit guides might be counseling them on is just that, of like, hey, this isn't for you. This isn't your responsibility. So it might just kind of be this epiphany at one point where they're like, you know what? I don't have to take this. I don't have to put up with this. This isn't mine to worry about. Like, I'm going to let them handle it. And that might free up a lot more energy for them to focus on your connection. That's kind of what I'm getting. So it might not be specifically about your connection, but it's like freeing up their energy. They might also be realizing how much this other situation is taking their energy, and that's negatively impacting your connection. Especially if you guys have had a conversation about that recently, it really got through to them. Because I feel like they were just so anxious and worried about this other thing. I don't know, the like eyebrow up thing, that they kind of may have just like sort of lost track of the other things in their life that needed attention. Karmic completion, exactly. Dude, they're finishing up a karmic cycle. We love that we have the 10 here, indicates wrapping up of a cycle. Beautiful, beautiful. So this is why they are releasing this really heavy karmic cycle, and that's going to allow them a lot more energy to be able to pursue new things in their life and tend to other areas of life. Okay, we have in Leo, so they could be a Leo, this could be you, this could be somebody they were dealing with, and I'm really drawn into taking a chance on. So again, this could be where they had a cycle in their past that they were just struggling to get past, and maybe that's really created a barrier between them connecting with you. This is where they're kind of, I don't know why I'm getting this, you both could be Leos or have significant Leo placements. Leo season could be very important here. But this is kind of like what's happening is they're like finally kind of letting this go and be like, you know what? fucking, they're just finally letting this go, and they're kind of like, I'm going to let this sort of, I don't have to carry the weight of this anymore. This isn't for me. You know, if this is somebody still in their life, or a situation that's still in their life, it's like, I didn't get myself into this. They can fix this for themselves, or like, I'm all done here, right? Especially with that Leo leadership energy. This person may have felt like they had to take charge of this, or they had to kind of guide this situation of this person. And there's kind of this energy of, no, you can handle it yourself, that I'm sort of picking up here. And this is really going to allow them to kind of like focus more energy on moving forward with you and building with you. Yeah, okay. So this was the message. My intention was that the messages would be kind of maybe from their higher selves. So we had past life stuff to work out. Exactly. They had a karmic cycle. This feels like somebody in their life that they've been dealing with. This could be a karmic person from their past that's just been hanging around. What is this karmic completion? Because whatever this is, it's like, yeah, exactly. Justice reversed and the 10 of Wands. Some of you, this was a past partner, especially a significant partner. We have Libra energy showing up. This could be a situation where they were getting divorced. And there was like this situation where it was just taking up a lot of their time and energy. It was kind of creating an imbalance in their life. I feel the other person, like the karmic partner, kind of has this energy, because look how the snake is biting them. It's like kind of has this energy of, I'm getting this spiteful kind of energy, right? Where it's like this person may have been trying to sabotage, like just make things extra difficult. Let's say there was shared financial arrangements, so even after they split up, they had to work that out together. This would be where that person is, you know, being super demanding or making it super difficult to like, you know, I need your portion of, I need your payment for this, but you can't send it to me this way, or you only can bring it to me this time. Like, they're just going out of their way to make it kind of like difficult. And I think it's because that person's very immature, and this is how they know how to like get more time and attention from your soul partner. And it's like just as like BS. And part of the lesson I feel for your soul partner was to learn to say enough is enough, right? We even have like this, again, the weight of the world sort of energy. And this was, I think, part of the lesson for your soul partner was to realize, like, this isn't fair to me. I'm going to let this go. This is not mine to carry. I don't give a shit anymore. My peace of mind is worth more than whatever bullshit might come out of me dropping this. So your soul partner and this other person had past life stuff they had to work out. That's really the message that they wanted to kind of convey to you. And I want to say this doesn't feel like major like toxic stuff in the sense of like, if you're like, oh, my person, you know, cheated on me with their ex. I don't feel like this is that, right? That's not the message. This feels like an ex is hanging around, and your person's trying to be kind and civil, or trying to be honorable and live up to their portion of the agreement. But this ex is pushing the limits, and just like, I feel like there's something where your person's been afraid to really put their foot down because they've been afraid of some type of like retribution. Again, this way I feel like there's like a financial tie or a legal issue. It's like, I'm afraid if I really like say no to this person, they're going to try to make my life really miserable in court. They're going to try to make it, you know, they're going to try to like take me to the cleaners. There feels like there's something hanging up on this. Judgment reversed. I'm not surprised. And the 9 of Pentacles. So again, this is like a past life thing that had to happen here. 4 of Wands reversed. There's another nod to like either somebody that they were married to, somebody they lived with, somebody that they had built, you know, a home with, and it didn't pan out. There's a sense here that this, with Judgment reversed, they've been like, this was not only like a karmic debt that kind of had to be paid, but there was something where they were really afraid to make a judgment call. And I feel like for a lot of you, this person, again, it's like they really wanted to do the right thing. They feel like it's important to be honorable. That was the desire here. It's not just fear of consequence. They wanted to do right by this person because they recognized that this person had been very important to them. But they kind of came to this realization recently, or they're coming to this realization, and this is what their guides are helping them with, that they have really already paid their dues, and it's time for a change. It's time for things to shift and change, right? For some, this is where they are finally getting enough of a sense of self-worth to be able to stand up to this person that's been very hard for them before. For others, and you know, this doesn't have to be an ex, this can also be a family member where they are financially tied to this person. This could be somebody who they have some type of legal tie with, right? So for some, this person is just your soul partner is finally getting this greater sense of self, this greater sense of self-love and self-worth that's allowing them to kind of be like, you know what? No, I'm all done with this crap. And this is kind of with this like portal energy. This is what, and like I love how triumphant this person is. This is what's allowing them to step into a new energy, saying, you know, come hell or high water, I don't give a shit. I don't deserve this. I'm not dealing with this anymore, right? They're taking a chance on walking away from this, and their guides are helping to kind of counsel them on this. And for others, your person is finally getting a financial boon, and this is what's allowing them to kind of be able to walk away from this. For some, your person has known that they want to be done with this, but they've been afraid to take a chance. They've been afraid to kind of take a leap of faith because they've been afraid of not being able to afford it, right? Of just being like financially cleaned out or like destitute as a result of what this other person is willing to do. I feel like this other person's very petty. I don't like them. I'll be honest. I'm not liking the energy coming off them right now. Yeah, and there's a sense where they're finally going to be able to it's hard to see, but I don't know if you can tell. There's like the grass is like uncut here, and then through the gateway, it's very like neatly kept. It's like having to kind of like wend your way through things, and then things are finally like even and like, you know, well tended to. It's just like a stable foundation. I want to get like a little bit more information. So what are you guys guiding this person on? Yeah, 8 of Cups reversed. I think that what your soul partner's guides are offering them guidance on is this understanding that this other person they're dealing with is not going to play fair. The situation's not going to improve. They really need to walk away. That's the only way. And I think they're kind of realizing that like the impact it's been having on them emotionally and how it's just not worth it anymore, is sort of what I'm getting. Page of Pentacles. It would be better, even if they took everything, because money might be very important to this person. Even if the karmic partner, the karmic person they're dealing with took everything from them, it's kind of like it's better to start fresh and feel good, right? Let a new day dawn without this person in it than have to deal with this. Knight of Swords, this is why I feel like this is going to change very, very quickly. They're going to kind of come in and be like, you know, cutting them off, saying what they need to say. There's almost this energy where like this karmic person in their life might try to like do what they've always done to get them to stick around, be like, well, if you don't do this, then I'm gonna call my lawyer, blah blah blah. And like this person's like, good, do it. All right. They're just like, oh, you better watch out, because if you're not being nice to me, maybe I'll do XYZ. Maybe I'll call, I don't know, I heard your broker. Maybe I'll call your broker back. So they're like, great, do it. This person's realizing that there's more to life than material stability. They would rather be, again, it's almost that energy of, I'd rather start all over again on my own terms without you touching, like, I don't want you to touch a single part of my life right now. I'd rather start all over again without you than have to placate you, than have to, appease you all the time. This is not worth it anymore. And so in doing so, they're really finding their sense of self, their sense of self-value, and saying, my peace of mind is worth so much more than any amount of money you could take from me. So this is what your person's working on right now, and I do feel like this will free up a lot more energy for them to be able to like put toward the partnership. They may also be recognizing how much this situation has been weighing on your partnership. I kind of want to get a little more clarity though on what this has shown them about their partnership with you. Knight of Pentacles. This has been such a point of contrast to show them how much more stable you are in their life and where they want to invest. The Moon. Okay, so yeah, especially the emotional stability here. And the Knight of Wands. I feel like as they kind of like deal with this is also going to reignite their passion for this connection pretty heavily. The Six of Cups. I feel like they're really seeing you as somebody who actually genuinely cares for them. And it's like by having this point of contrast in their life, like they already knew that they cared, but it's like they see you as secure and stable. They see you not just as somebody that they feel passionate about, but as somebody that they could really invest in. This is what a solid person, like this is what it looks like to have a solid person to invest in, especially somebody who's going to emotionally be very stable for them. So I think that's everything that I've got for group 2. Ooh, hang on. I accidentally knocked part of the deck off, and what came out was the Tower reverse. This person's making changes. This person's finally making the changes because they're like, you know what, screw this. I like that. That was nice. So I think that's everything I've got for group 2. like looking at my tarot deck, like, are you done? You done? If you are looking for help with your specific situation, please feel free to check out my shop. It's linked in the description box. I don't have this reading listed there, so you can always DM me and be like, hey girl, I saw this reading. I'd love this one for myself. I'd love to do that for you, or any other custom reading. So yeah, you can always hit me up. Thank you so much, and I hope I get the chance to read for you again soon. Take care. Bye. Hi, group 3. I feel this very flowy energy off this. This feels nice. This feels very calm. I feel like your person is coming into a period of emotional stability after a lot of upheaval. Like, a lot. They may have been doing some shadow work. You notice how we have the light blue on 3 sides, and then this last side is like the darker side. They may have been doing a lot of shadow work. And all my little towers, except for this one, are hexagonal, but this one is 4-sided. So again, this one to me is very much about stability, right? So after a period of like a lot of emotional purging, a lot of emotional, like being like emotionally overstimulated, I feel like their guides are helping them kind of come back into peace, back into flow. So let's see what their guides are counseling them about when it comes to this relationship. Ooh, the great severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love, exactly. So this could be you guys. I almost feel like they were taking it out on you. That's kind of what I'm getting. And what I mean by that is that this connection, I feel like, again, like there's a card in this deck that I have. I'm trying not to look because I like to discover the cards with you, where it's you shook up my emotions and changed my life. That's kind of the energy that's coming through right now. I feel like this connection really shook up their emotions, was very emotionally stimulating for them. So it may have kind of purged a lot of stuff from the shadows. And it's kind of like this energy of, I've got to deal with this. I can't ignore this anymore. We do have Mars reference, so you guys could have significant Aries or Scorpio placements. This also could be that kind of tower card energy. You know, where it's, I feel like it required they deal with it. It required making changes. And they may have kind of displaced anger about that onto you, right? Where it may have kind of been like, you're the one who's causing me pain, when it's just in reality, like, I'm just here. Because these things in their life needed to be changed, right? So they may have been avoiding you. They may have been pushing you away because subconsciously they're associating change with you. And it's change they need, change that's good for them, but it's change that's painful because no human being likes change. We're not really built to like it. And I feel like this is what's softening, right? So you guys may have had a lot of fights. This person, I'm almost getting this blow up. This person may have just kind of like been really overwhelmed at one point and just kind of like cursed you out, or like had like they just exploded, right? Like you may not have known anything was really wrong with them, or they could have just like been like, you know, this is where the whole thing comes out. It's a tirade, really, is what I'm getting. Or there may have just been like the tension was kind of building, and then there was like this blowout kind of like fight. They may have had some situations like this in their own life, and it's making them testy with you. But this feels either like you guys are separated or like you've just had some fights. But this doesn't feel like it's like all out separated. Like if you are separated, it feels like it hasn't been that long. So let's see what else comes out. Self-discipline. Oh, okay. 41 reducing to a 5. We're going to talk about it, but Aries. Okay. So I'm really drawn into your desires regarding. So here's what I feel like is happening. This isn't funny, but we have red and green here. So in this deck, there are cards where the Merkaba is the same color as the background. To me, this means that, you know, your internal frequency is in like resonance with your external reality. What is going on internally is being accurately reflected back to you in your external. When they're different, this means that there's a fluctuation. There's in the process of change. This person, I feel, with the red and the green, this is the root and the heart chakra. There's something where this person either like parts of their life were not really reflective of what they truly wanted in their heart, their like higher self. It feels like this person wasn't actually happy, but they were very solid and secure. Excuse my burp. And this is why I feel like they were. So I feel like there's this energy where this person wasn't happy, but they felt solid and secure in what they were doing. And so by asking, like, by something about this connection triggered them to realize they needed change. 4444 on the timer as I was talking about this. They needed change. And I think that's something, you know, because we have 41 that reduces to a 5, so this is the number of challenges and changes. I think this process made them realize, A, that they're not happy or comfortable in some areas of their life, B, that they either want change but it's harder than they thought, or they need change but they don't want it. And C, that in order to kind of cope with these things in their life that feel secure but don't help them grow or make them happy, that actually resonate with them, they chase a lot of like desires of the moment in order to try to make themselves happy, but it's a fleeting and false sense of happiness. So I feel like this relationship triggered a lot for them, and it made them uncomfortable. They may have felt like they were trying to make a lot of changes. This person, I'm going to be honest, might have impulse control problems. And being with you, ask them to deal with it, right? What is this? What are these issues that were coming up? Page of Cups. This person has impulse control issues when it comes to their emotions. So they either express their emotions immaturely. This could be somebody who's got like, they come in, you know, really sweet, and they share their feelings with you, and then they kind of don't really follow through on them. It's kind of just like nice feelings in the moment. We have a lot. This page doesn't usually have like alcohol at all depicted, but we have a couple bottles here. So some of these could have to do with like problems with regulating their alcohol consumption or other sort of addictive habits. This person can just not always be the most mature emotionally. Magician. All right, hang on. We have Gemini and Virgo showing up. I want to pull this one. Justice reverse. I'm not surprised. 10 of Cups. And this is the other one that got my attention, the Ace of Cups. Okay, 2 of Swords at the bottom. Here's what this person does. They're not a bad person, but this person has a lot of fantasies about how you get from the Ace of Cups to the 10 of Cups. They want this happy family. There might be childhood issues that kind of make them sort of like fantasize about a nice family life. Maybe they didn't have that. The letters W or M might be important here. Make them fantasize about like a beautiful family life. But there is illusion going on with the, you know, again, the escapist here. There is illusion going on about what that actually maintains. This person is an excellent manifester. I feel they are not aware of their own power. This is a type of person who will call things into their life, and then when it comes time to do the actual legwork to build it and maintain it, they are like, they get stuck at this 2 of Swords, right? So there's that Ace of Swords. I'm going to speak something into existence. I'm going to, I have this great idea. And then it comes time to kind of really sit with it, discern if you actually want to move forward or not. Boom, that's where this person gets stuck. They are emotionally impulsive. And what it results in with, I almost said the Libra reverse. Yes, Justice reverse, Libra energy. What it results in is them often having a lot of broken commitments. They may have had like their parents' relationship fall apart, have like a divorce, and that may have affected them very deeply. This may have happened between the ages of, I'm hearing 8 to 9. That's very specific, so 8 or 9 years old. And this is kind of that great severing energy here, where that may have made such a huge impact on them that it really impacts how they look at relationships. So this person has this almost childlike ideal. I'd love a husband, a wife. I'd love to have, kids, the big house, the white picket fence. But when it comes to doing the actual work, this person's lost. I will be honest. And so what this relationship really pointed out to them, look at, we have the caterpillar here, we have these 3 butterflies, how much change they need to actually go through in order to maintain and build what they've been asking for. Because I think this is not the first time they call something into their life and then it requires work, and they don't have the self-discipline to really go after what they want, to ground what they want, right? And this is why they might kind of self-soothe with addictive kind of habits and tendencies, because they're not actually happy with what they have, but they're not willing to push through and do the hard work to be able to have that. This person might like to kind of have their cake and eat it too. This person might kind of like to, again, they're emotionally impulsive. They might not recognize the importance of communication, the importance of because also too, we have the Ace and the 10, but no other Cups cards in between, right? This is that like beautiful relationship, happy home, happy family. This is the start of something. They can start it and then they kind of just expect it to get there. They don't know any of the things in between. They have no awareness. This is what I feel has been going on for them, right? So if you're struggling, like I can see that because I think they come in very, very, very sweet. They likely say a lot of very beautiful things. And the thing is, this is giving me the energy of I meant it when I said it. I think they're being honest. They do mean it when they say it, but there's so much that they're unaware of. They are unprepared for. They have not done the shadow work for. The list goes on, right? And so this is what I think this relationship has kind of been triggering them to deal with. This is why I feel like there may have been this blow up or like this overwhelm. They may have just kind of pushed you away or like backed away from the relationship, because I think there's kind of this recognition of, oh, holy shit, there's so much that goes into this. And there's a recognition not only of the fact that they'd have to do all this work with you, but honestly, they'd have to do all this work with anyone in order to have what they want. And there's kind of this like, oh, God. They're getting very, very overwhelmed. I'm being called to finally pull the message card. These are going to be like, these were, my intention were messages kind of from their higher self. I wish I had told you when it mattered most, but I'm telling you now, I love you endlessly. I feel like this person's just pushed you away. This person, you may have asked them to communicate their feelings more, and they were kind of like, that may have been the last straw, right? You may have asked more from them, and like, you know, incrementally, this is the next step, and that may have just been too much. Yep, the devil reversed. So what their guides are helping them with is seeing this pattern, right? Seeing that it comes down to, especially with the devil and self-discipline, it comes down to those tough moments, right? You want, you know, if you want this, you want that relationship, you got to put work into it. You got to be prepared to slog it out, right? You got to be prepared to get control over your emotions, get control over your desires, right? This might be where they have addictions. And it's like, let's say it's, you know, gambling, for example. It's like, okay, but is a stable, happy home and a stable relationship in this moment, is that more important to you than, you know, staying for another round of blackjack? Is that more important to you than this? They're like literally having to get very, very clear about that. They're also having to look at themselves very honestly and see where their patterns have kept them stuck. What is this? Queen of Cups. Because this is how they see you, regardless of gender identity or expression. Somebody who's loving, somebody who's warm. I feel like it's like that's a contrast to how they show up in some ways. And it almost, you know, I'm getting like this like Cancer, Aries kind of energy. And it almost infuriates them more. Like the nicer you are, the almost kind of makes them angry. Because it's like they don't, it makes them feel more inadequate. It challenges them more. And it makes them feel like they're farther away from their goal, if that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, Six of Cups, Six of Swords. I was gonna say they love you. They love you, and it's really interesting because the box here is on the Fool card in this deck. What I'm thinking is they love you, and they have these plans for a big journey with you. And I think why they've been frustrated and what they're realizing with the devil reversed, what their guides are helping them with, is this recognition that it's like the carrot and stick, right? If they want this with you, sorry, I have a little piece of like fuzz in my hair. It was bothering me because I was laying down on my blankets for a little bit before I started. Okay. But it's this recognition, if they want you, if they really want this, they have to be willing to heal. They have to be willing to heal their beliefs about relationships. Again, I feel like they watched a significant relationship fall apart. They have to be willing to heal whatever is getting in the way of them doing the work. They have to be willing to heal their addictions. They have to be willing to heal the toxicity in their life, right? And they wish they had told you when it mattered the most. You may have been really asking them, tell me how you feel about me. Do you even love me? Like, do you want this? I feel like this energy of asking for just like a little bit in return. We have the Queen and the Page, right? That's a big maturity difference. Asking them for just give me a sign. Just give me a little bit. And what their higher self wants you to know is they wish they had told you when it mattered the most, when you really needed to hear it, when you were asking. They wish they had told you that when they mattered the most, but they're saying it right now, that they love you endlessly. This person's got big love for you, but this person's not very mature. I want to see what else their guides are counseling them on, though, because this is a lot. Two of Cups. I feel like they were having some time. We have the volcanoes in the background. There's been some excuse my burp, some cool off time, or they're having cool off time, and in this time their guides are kind of helping them calm down and also counseling them. Again, look how he's watering the plant, and they're counseling them on like, look, you want this, you got to put in the work. Maybe for some of them they have friends who are married, and one of their friends is just talking about kind of like what, you know, married life is like, and yeah, you know, sometimes there's ups and downs. You got to be patient, you got to put in the work, stuff like that. Like at the end of the day, it's all going to require work. You just got to decide who you want to do the work with. And there's something where like their guides are finding ways of counseling them about not only their feelings, but what a relationship really requires. 9 of Cups reversed, and then Death reversed. I feel like there's this sense that they are King of Cups reversed at the bottom. There's a sense that they have the potential to become your equal here. And we have a lot of cups coming out now, which I think is interesting. We were talking about that there were like no cups before. So what their guides are counseling them on is almost this sense that, look, dude, it can't be all about what you want. This is personal wish fulfillment and satisfaction. But that's very, very different than, you know, the 10 of Cups, the happy home, happy family, soulmate relationship. Definitely very different than the King of Cups will know, you know, show up when he's upright. And the 4 of Wands reversed at the bottom. What their guides are really talking to them about is it's not all about you. It's not all about your emotional state. It's 5-5-5-5 as I said that. This has got to change. This like self-centeredness, right? Being self-focused is not a problem. Being, you know, self-supportive, not a problem. But it's just got to be in a healthy balance, right? The Aries-Libra axis in the Wheel of the Zodiac talks about a healthy balance between the relationship to self versus the relationship to others. This person has been focused so heavily on the relationship to self. And I feel a lot of it goes back to like childhood wounds and traumas. There was some big severing event that made them feel insecure, so they kind of really withdrew into themselves. And what their guides are trying to help them with is like, yo, you want them? You want this? You got to be willing to talk about your feelings. You got to be willing to be emotionally mature. You got to be willing to really do the work to, you know, you can't just call things into your life and then expect them to do all the work all the time. This isn't have your cake and eat it too. You got to be willing to put in the effort, to be patient, to be diligent, to be understanding. Those are, you know, feelings can be overwhelming sometimes, but honestly, emotional maturity is just like everything else. It's a skill set. You learn how to do it and you build and you grow. And your person's spirit guides are kind of like counseling them on that. You know, some of the other piles I was getting really heavily in the astral, or kind of like these big epiphanies for this group. I feel like their spirit guides are sending them this information by way of other people really heavily, because I think your person might be missing some of these bigger signs. So this might be where they have a dream. This might be where something might be ending for them, or they might be watching somebody else go through an ending. And it's kind of this energy of like, by witnessing that, there is wisdom in it, right? By like going through that, like maybe they've had a friend who got divorced, or who's getting a divorce, and this kind of, you know, they're reflecting on their marriage, and this is offering your person some insight. I don't know why for this group I'm being called to kind of pull like next steps that your person's either gonna do or like is going through in preparation, because I feel, hang on, not that one. Okay. I feel like, yeah, I should. So, 2 of Swords. Again, there's a sense of whispering in the ear. I'm really 10 of Wands. And the Page of Swords. So your person's kind of going back and forth right now about whether or not to reach out. The next step is for them to reach out. It's a question of when. I feel like they're trying to figure out, can I go back? Can I talk to them? Is that really a good idea? Did I take it too far? This is, you know, heavy burdens. They're kind of sitting with the heaviness of what they, of all of this, right? This is a lot to digest. And so they're kind of trying to contemplate, is it really time? So again, the question is them reaching out and like contacting you and talking, or wanting to have like more of an open, honest conversation about this. And so it's more a question of when. That does seem to be the next step. You might hear from this person. You know, the Swords and the Wands are usually pretty fast-moving energy. Hang on, I'm cutting the deck here. Yeah, I feel like for many of you, you're going to hear from this person as little as 10 days. As little as 10 days. But you could be looking at up to the next 2 months. You might be hearing from this person, because I do think they want to talk to you. So I think that's everything I have for group 3. I hope this has been helpful. If you're looking for this reading for yourself, you can check out my shop link in the description box below. I don't have this reading listed, but you can just DM me, be like, yo girl, I saw this reading on YouTube and I'd like this for myself. And I'd be happy to do that for you, or make any other custom reading. So it's been such an honor and a joy to get to read for you today, love bugs. I hope I get to again in the future, and I'm wishing you a bright, beautiful, blessed day and all that good kind of jazz. So yeah, take care guys. Love you.